I hate requests. I think most DJs do. As a matter of fact, with the last set of lights I bought, this came with it. If that tells you anything. So it's not just me. So I've spent my entire life obsessing over music, and before I do an event, I've spent at least 2 weeks preparing tracks just specific for that event. So it's a little annoying when somebody comes up and asks for me to play a particular song, especially if it's a song that I've never heard before, and the person who's asking is somebody I don't know, and certainly don't trust. But more than once, requests have saved the night for me, so I appreciate requests. These first few episodes in the RFC series is going to be focused on song selection. I would love to do a video about song selection, but it would be 2 hours long and nobody would watch it. So I decided to break it up into the factors of song selection. So last week I did a video on beat matching, which can determine which song you're going to play. If you're going to use beat matching, then tempo and key would be a factor. And today I'm going to talk about requests, because obviously if you're going to take requests, then requests is going to be a big part of what you're going to play. So the reason why I hate requests is because sometimes the person who is making the request is doing it for their own enjoyment and not the enjoyment for the party as a whole. The most moronic and vulgar songs I've ever heard of came from requests that people have asked for me to play. Just at the last event that I did, I had 3 separate requests for WAP by Cardi B. And I know it's a big song right now, but as far as I'm concerned, that song is just plain trash. And that's coming from an ex-sailor. I'm not going to play that song, especially at an event that has children at it. And speaking of children, I offered to play music for my daughter and her friends at their recent Halloween party. And in the long list of songs that she gave me to play, she had IDGAF by Dua Lipa in there. Now, I'm not going to go into what IDGAF stands for, but once again, very glad I screened that list of songs and did not play that song. So guests are not to be trusted. As I mentioned in my last video, there's criteria a song has to meet in order for me to play it. And when somebody comes to me requesting a song, I don't know that their song is going to fit into that criteria, especially if it's a song I've never heard before. And my gosh, it seems like people are just out to stump me and just request only songs I've never heard of before. And another reason that no DJ wants to play requests is because DJs take pride in their art, in their performance. That's why they spend weeks beforehand preparing for an event. And when they show up and they have it in mind what they're going to play, when somebody comes along and asks us to play a song, it's basically saying we're not much more than just a freaking jukebox. And I didn't get into DJing to be a freaking jukebox. But the main reason I hate requests is because, at least for songs that I've never heard before, is it's a burden. I have to listen to the track while playing music for the dance floor, and that takes my focus off of what's going on the dance floor and on this potential song that I could play. So without a doubt, I hate requests. But that being said, I typically play the majority of the requests I get. And the reason why is because as much work as requests are, there is a benefit to indulging requests. And I think any DJ who ignores requests outright is missing out on an opportunity. As much work as they are, I do appreciate requests because the goals of a great DJ is to play music that people want to hear, and there's no more of a horse's mouth source than having the people come and tell you exactly what they want to hear. I can even think of a couple times where requests absolutely just saved the night. And me playing requests made the dance floor go from completely empty to packed, just from requests. So I do have a fondness for requests as much as I don't like them. They are definitely something that I think that every DJ should take the time to indulge. Because the reality is that you don't know, at least I don't know, I have very little idea what to play until I'm actually there. I spend time before the event preparing tracks and putting together what I think the people are going to want to hear, and I do want to talk about how I do that in a future video, so subscribe. But, you know, until you actually get there and you meet the crowd and get to know the crowd, you really have little idea of what it is that they're going to want to hear. And about probably only a third of the tracks I play were prepared in advance, and 2/3 of it is just done on the fly. So requests are a good way to get a feel for what people are into. So there's a downside to requests, but there's a definite upside to requests. And these are my 3 solutions for dealing with requests and not getting completely bogged down and ultimately not enjoying the night, and as a result having others not enjoy the night. First thing is find a trusted source. Get to know somebody who has the interests of everybody there in mind and knows the crowd better than you do, preferably. There's always somebody. Every event I've ever done, there's been one person. Maybe they start coming to me with a request. Maybe I knew them from beforehand. But whatever it is, I know after 1 or 2 requests or 3, it's like this guy knows. He's got his finger on the pulse and he knows the crowd better than I do, and I'd be an idiot not to listen to what he has to say. So have an insider is my first piece of advice. The next piece of advice is always trust the person who's paying you. If that's the bride or the groom, if they want to hear something, you play it. Doesn't matter what your criteria is. If whoever's paying you, they get priority. And then lastly, and this is one I found out by accident just at the last event I did, totally just by dumb luck, is to get an assistant DJ. The last event I did was the first one where my wife actually helped me out with it, and she did an amazing job. All the requests came in, I wrote down on a notepad, and then she took the songs off the notepad and then listened to the songs on her phone, and then came up with a filtered list of the songs that people requested. And she basically gave her stamp of approval, and that freed me up to stay focused on the dance floor, but gave me the benefit of being able to figure out what it was that the people were into and have a list of songs that were dead on exactly what they wanted to hear. So if you could somehow swing an assistant DJ, I would highly recommend doing so. So that's all I have to say about requests. I certainly plan on doing more of these DJ RFCs, and these probably first 4, 5, 6 of these, I guess, are going to be focused on song selection. And then I'm going to do an episode at the end that's going to tie it all together. So last episode, like I said, was about beat matching, why I don't do it. This one is about requests. So I hope this benefited you in some way. As with all of my RFCs, I'm really just putting out what I've experienced out there. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments about it. So please leave a comment about what your thoughts are on requests. Whether you're a DJ or you like going to parties with DJs, you know, put your thoughts down below. So, and thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take care. The record button's over here now. I got a new setup, so it's just, yeah. So now why are requests good? I don't know why I just laughed. It's not funny. Stop it.